my days, my friends. We are joined by our first Heavy Music Award winner of the evening, Craig from the Downbeat podcast. How the devil are you, my friend?
I'm the first. Am I the first for
You're the
today?
first guest that we've had in the studio.
Because it's best podcast. It's like winning coolest library. you won the coolest library. Thank you very much.
You're really good at the talking.
I'm not though, and I honestly had a panic attack earlier because I was like, oh no, I've won. I have to speak to people. I play the drums and do a podcast with no video for that reason, and I had to go out there.
But you smashed it though, Brian. I mean, like, I've seen a lot of the love that has been generated from your podcast over the lockdown. I think a lot of people really did appreciate the fact that you used a platform to try and take people's mind off the very strange 18 months that we've had. And as someone who's more used to the musical side of life and so kind of stepping into the journalistic side of life almost, like with the conversation, how did you find that as a coping mechanism?
Honestly, if I'm completely perfectly honest with you, like, probably saved my life doing that through the pandemic or whatever, just having something to do. It was like weird, like gigging stopped, and it was like, well, what do you do? And I was like, I've got a podcast, so I might as well just do more episodes. So I did that.
That's phenomenal.
Absolutely smashed it. And there is so much love for you in this chat, by the way. Literally, the Downbeat crew are in the chat.
Yeah, your remotes have been popping off all night as well.
Seeing your face in the chat all night long.
Everyone from Twitch, you're the best. Tom Williams, specifically, you're the best person on earth, actually, so that's fine.
So talk us through the Downbeat. I mean, obviously, like, people know you from your drumming work, but at what point in your career did you decide to just bring a little bit more conversation out?
What a fucking professional question. You've got it written,
not even got any notes.
Down,
No.
just from there.
Yeah.
We had, straight from the path, had like 18 months off, like a while ago now. It was probably 3 years ago now. And I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? And I just moved to a place that I fucking hate with a person I hate. And I was just like, well, what the fuck do I do? It's fine. What the fuck do I do? So I was like, I guess, like, I've got a lot of friends that I enjoy talking to. I'm just going to start talking to them. And I started talking to them, and I put the first one up, and in my head I was like, oh, fucking, like, low-key. Insanely vain. I was like, if the first one doesn't go to number one in the music podcast, I'm not doing another one. I did the first one with Jay from Tesseract, and they went to number one. I was like, okay.
All right. Go on then.
Okay, even though there's no royalties at all from a podcast, I'm going to do it. And then I just did it, and then now it's like, I love it. I love doing it.
That's amazing. And your Twitch streams have been crushing it as well. You've been doing the drum throughs. You've been doing
the coffee streams. Love them.
Your pre-workouts.
Yeah, just so bored. Yeah. Like, it's so bored. And then like I was like, oh, I took out a credit card, and I was like, so everyone's streaming. There's actually Matt Hafey from Trivium, and I was like, man, he's killing it. I was like, can I get a credit card for £10,000? And then they went, yep. And I was like, sorry, what? And they were like, yep. And I was like, okay. And then I just bought all the cameras and shit, and then started doing it, and it's like nearly recouped. I'm nearly there.
You're on the precipice of breaking even.
Yeah, but it's fucking so much fun. It's like, honestly kept me sane. Like, and even today, just meeting other like Downbeat fans or whatever. Like,
shout out for having some of the best emotes. I love the Blast Beats emotes on Twitch.
Yeah,
that's
the
your merch
Pornhub
well,
Blast Beat one.
The king of merch. Let's talk about the king of merch.
In fact,
what are they going to do?
Everything that was like a rip-off of something else was meticulously, I went, has Pornhub got a copyright for black and orange on a t-shirt? Oh, they don't. Bum, bum, bum. And we're seeing now, I've broadcast that, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, Pornhub, actually. You're doing some shady shit, calm down.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you may as well benefit off a couple of colour coding logos.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I know we want to try and keep this conversation upbeat, but there are a lot of people who are big Stray from the Path fans who are watching right now. Unfortunately, you guys did have to pull out a Slam Dunk Festival, and you were just telling us before we came on air, just because you're back. I don't want to go into the nitty gritty of it, but like, there's a lot of people in the chat who just generally care about your state of well-being. Like, how far along the recovery process are you? Is it a case of physiotherapy and exercises, or?
I got real lucky. So it happened like 6 weeks ago. I broke my back. Everyone. Stable fracture, it's fine, but everyone, when you say you broke your back, everyone's like, so So what? You're walking around, but I broke it. I have an ex-drum... Sorry, I fucked something up. I have an ex-drum student, Harry Carman, shout out, who is like a physio who works with jockeys that have exactly this injury. I just got super lucky, and he was like, here you go, here's what you need to do. And then I've just been doing that, and everything was going fine. And then Alex Bailey from Silosis picked me up earlier on at the awards and essentially cracked my back, which is broken. So you can blame him for more podcast episodes because I'm not playing drums, so I'll just do more. You can thank him for more. But no, apparently on Tuesday, according to the doctor, I can play the drums. So
what, as of Tuesday coming up?
Tuesday coming up. So twitch.tv/Straight from the Path. I'm going to play the drums. Well, hopefully it's going to... I will literally cry on camera if I can play the drums, because it's like, I probably should be dead. So it's like,
I can imagine.
I got real lucky.
Yeah,
to be fair, like, Craig is dramatically downplaying how serious of an injury this actually was.
I've got like fucking... It's dumb. It's dumb. It's a dumb injury. It's fine. We'll be fine.
But you're in a band. Bands are used to doing stupid, silly things and almost just about getting away with it alive on the other side.
I got like a weird guilt about it being as like good as it is. Like the injury is just like, oh, okay, so now this ex-drum student's a physio, like everything's gonna be fine. 6 weeks I'm gonna play the drum. I'm like, I watch 24 hours in A&E. Someone fucking falls off a ladder and it's like, oh, you are dead. And I'm not dead, and I have weird guilt about it.
15 foot you fell, wasn't it?
Something like that. I made that number up. it was high. It was the fucking embankment. I basically fell off a fucking bridge.
Oh my
Jesus Christ, Barry.
God.
Can we disclose what you were doing on said bridge?
Honestly, just fucking around. Like, don't fuck around on high shit. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I'm 30 fucking 4. You learn that like day 600 of being alive. Probably don't be on a high thing. Did it? Fucked it.
But you haven't lost your sense of humour.
No.
And your sense of humour is something that translates extremely well across.
How professional you are. I don't want to throw you off, but fucking hell. I'm impressed.
I chat shit for a living, dude. It comes off the top.
Down here on Twitch. You are holding it down.
Good.
But in terms of taking home the Heavy Music Award this evening, I mean, especially for someone who has been involved in the live music sector, obviously you've got a lot of friends who are out there this evening nominated for awards. Is it your first time seeing some of these people since the pandemic?
Honestly, it's been fucking... Oh, sorry, I cut you up there.
No, that was the question.
So professional. GMTV. Right, ITV. Or like one of the other ones. Yeah, like honestly, I had a little bit, I'll be honest, like I had a bit of a fucking panic attack earlier. Like the backstage bars, I've gone from 2 years of making my fucking podcast in a little room in my flat to just suddenly being thrown in with everyone else. I was like, are we allowed to do this? It was fucking insane. So I'm like so stoked to see everyone, but at the same time I'm like, am I incredibly damaged by this? Like, I don't know.
I think we're all a bit damaged. I think there's a lot of inbuilt trauma, isn't there?
I was going to ask you for a sip of that gin and tonic off camera, but then I was like, oh, there's a thing. No drinks on this bus. It's like Fire Festival. Jon was like, what are you prepared to do? For a sip of water.
For a little bit of Evian.
Wait till you see
I did it, and I don't even have fucking water.
So in terms of the Downbeat, you've had a very eclectic mix of guests on the show. If you were to put forward, let's say a top three Downbeat podcasts, the people who maybe are discovering the Downbeat for the first time through this Heavy Music Awards live stream, who would be your top 3 Downbeat guests that you'd like people to go and check out conversation-wise?
Top 3 is so big. The problem is with the Downbeat is it has a ceiling, is because I actually hate doing people on press cycles. I hate it. It's like, I'll get the email and I love the people that send the emails and they're like, oh, we got this guy, they're on this press cycle, and then I hit them and they've done 4 podcasts that day. They've all asked the same fucking questions. I did Adam D the other day from Killswitch. Everyone's gone, what's the deal with the cape? And I'm like, what the fuck am I talking about? Like, I've got nothing. So, I guess... like, it would just be people that I love in bands. So Lars Ulrich would be number 1. I'd be like, why does everyone hate you? Because I love you. And then, literally throw me on the spot here.
We got some favourites in the chat
What you
coming
got?
through. Max QZ says Sam Carter, Courtney LaPlante and Toby Duncan.
Courtney and Toby were actually, and Sam obviously, those three are probably my favourite three. So whoever that is, who's that person?
Max
QZ, you're absolutely right. They're up there.
Am I making it? Did you do one with Jordan Fish?
Jordan
Fish,
yeah.
one there? Yeah.
Jordan Fish.
Yeah.
I would love to do. I'd love to do Jordan again. I'd love to do Ollie. I don't know. I know Jordan from back in the day, but I don't know Ollie.
From the worship days, was it?
Yeah. Even before then.
Damn.
He used to be. I can't even remember the name of the band, but he used to be in like a band that was just honestly eons above every other band in the southeast area.
Me and Tasmin do a series on the Heavy Network called Rock the Week, and one of the questions one week was about you. It was what was Craig Reynolds? What band did Craig Reynolds drum tech for before he joined Straight from the Path? And I think I had Rob Damiani on my team that week, and we were like, how the fuck are we supposed to know what's on Craig's fucking CV? It's like I've met the guy, I've done a couple of chats with him. I don't know what's on his CV, but I didn't know you and Architects went that far back.
No, drum tech for Architects. I was going to fill in for one tour, and Dan tore his ACL, and then he did some crazy like Wolverine healing. And I was like, I don't get to play for Architects. It was a bit annoying, but just all the other bands are shit. Stray's the only good one.
Well, what a beautiful note to end on, Craig. Thank you ever so much.
Channel 4. BBC, all the BBCs. That's your fucking guy. This is live, baby.
I'll drop my CV in the chat before the night's over, but congratulations on taking home the Heavy Music Award for the best podcast. I honestly can't think of a more worthwhile recipient after the work that you've put in over the last year. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, make some noise for Craig from the Downbeat podcast. Woo!